It's time for Around the Ozarks news, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Howdy, howdy. Good morning to you on Monday. It's the beginning of the work week. It's the beginning of the school year. Lots of stuff. So we're going to start with some news as we do. A man from Springfield is charged with dragging a Springfield police officer with his car. Happened at the Hy-Vee on Battlefield Road at Kansas Expressway over the weekend. Man had been trespassing on that property several times prior to that. They called police. The police officer arrived, approached the man about that. The man would not park his SUV, then ended up dragging the officer for about 85 feet across the parking lot. The man was arrested by another officer on scene. The injured officer was treated and released at a hospital for road rash injuries.
All right. Don't forget how to get a hold of emergency services should you need them. Again, over the weekend, another outage to get through to 911. This includes Christian, Taney, and Stone counties. It is back up and running right now, but it was down for much of Sunday. Leaders there say the outage was because of a power cable that was cut in the Kansas City area, surprisingly. Of course, this outage is the second such outage in a week's time. We told you about a different one last week. So again, if you need emergency services, you can always call the non-emergency line and they will patch you through to dispatch.
Probably a good idea at this point to have that on the fridge or something, or in your phone, so that you can easily call if you need it. Because the last thing you want to do when you need it is have to look it up. The summer party for kids all over the Ozarks is sadly over. Back to school time. Many students going back to school today. That includes the largest school district in the state of Missouri. That is the Springfield Public School District. So good luck to all the students and teachers, of course. Some of them may need it because the new school year is underway.
I know. I'm not ready, but here it is. Springfield drivers, listen up. Division Street is closed from now through Friday at O'Hare Avenue. Crews are doing some utility work in the area to better divert stormwater. Westbound traffic on Division is detoured via Golden Avenue to Kearney and West Bypass. Eastbound traffic is detoured south onto West Bypass.
Okay. Construction now underway on a new rehabilitation hospital by Cox Health. It's located off Highway 65 across the highway, basically from Tracker Marine. So you know where that is. It's right next to the Baptist Homes of Ozark. The facility will have space for 63 patient beds on 8 acres there, and work should be completed late next year.
I was actually the other day driving by it, wondering what it was going to be exactly. So now you know, because you can see all the construction, but I wasn't sure what it was. So Now we know. All right. This is very interesting. This actually is a story from Friday, but I just don't know if everybody saw it. Pretty crazy. There is a federal case involving Elvis and a woman from Kimberling City, which is just a really good headline to have your name included with Elvis's. Come on. Yeah. Lisa Finley, who's from Kimberling City, is accused of trying to extort millions of dollars from Presley's estate and Elvis's family. Investigators say that Finley tried to steal Elvis's family's ownership in Graceland. They found that she had formed a fake firm and tried to force the foreclosure of Graceland, which, by the way, was covered by network news. Yes. Prosecutors say that Finley claimed that Lisa Marie Presley borrowed money from this fake investment company that she set up, but then didn't repay the loan before Lisa died, and that she had put up Graceland as collateral. Well, apparently none of that is true. The document that the judge had looked at, he said it was all forged, it was all bogus, and now she is in trouble. Lisa Finley is in trouble. And if convicted, she could get up to 20 years in prison.
Wow.
I remember seeing this, I get so many breaking news alerts on my phone from major networks, like pretty much all of them, even all the cable news networks. And I can remember thinking, that's interesting because there's like some sort of Ozarks tie to that. Like I remembered it being tied to the Missouri Ozarks. Couldn't remember what the firm was called or anything, but now it's like the story has unfolded and we have a lot more detail. And that's just really, really crazy.
Wow. I mean, how do you think you're going to get away with that? And you talk about, start small, I would say. I don't know that I would start with Graceland and Elvis.
You criminal minds out there, start small, don't you know?
Wow.
I think
I would try to go to some other estate that maybe isn't going to make the headlines. That's crazy.
Go big or go home, all right.
Guess.
Today is
going
the
to
day.
jail. Where's she going?
Yeah. Today is the day for the Democratic National Convention. More than 50,000 people are expected to be in Chicago today for the DNC. Tonight, they will hear from Kamala Harris, President Biden, along with speeches this week from the Obamas and the Clintons. All the major networks will have coverage of that big event. So we will see how that shapes up.
Yep. We told you about Corner 21 Chinese restaurant getting a second location. That new location is set to open on Wednesday. And I know a lot of people are big fans of Corner 21 Chinese. Our former neighbors, we have some friends who, that was their favorite Chinese place when they lived here. The new Corner 21, for those of you wondering, will be on East Republic Road in the same facility, the same building that used to house Sugar Fire Barbecue Restaurant. So you know where that is? It's near the Sonic, close to Architect Coffee and Char. The original Corner 21 is located on Sunshine Street between Glenstone and National. So now two from Sunshine South.
All right. This is an interesting story. You'll remember last week we told you about the Chicago lunch lady who stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. She pleaded guilty. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison.
Yeah.
And guess what? A Kansas City Chiefs football player says that he will pay for all of those wings. He'll give that school district back their $1.5 million if authorities will agree to let her go free. Why? Defensive tackle Chris Jones says he feels sorry for her. He says that she's a church-going woman. She has no criminal history. She just got addicted to gambling, apparently. And he says that she was selling the wings, gambling the proceeds away. Over the weekend, he went to Twitter and said, I'll pay for the wings that she stole to get her free.
Interesting.
Yes. So now they have 30 days from her sentencing. Because see, here's the thing. She's already been sentenced. And so the court system is going to, this is a weird thing. This is an unusual thing. It's already been through trial. She's already been convicted and sentenced. So anyway, he has 30 days apparently to submit a motion to request a payment of restitution instead of prison time. So now we'll see what the court does with that. But
well, that'd be interesting for the judge to make that decision now, because you've already made a decision. This is a request to do something completely different, but the school district will, in this case, get restitution, where the school district probably wouldn't get restitution if she just goes to prison.
Right.
Interesting. And, you hope somebody's going to redeem themselves. So,
and also I would just like to throw this in there for free. The fact that she got addicted to gambling, which led her to do this, first of all, says that anybody can get addicted to gambling. Because if you think about it, he says she's a good woman. She's a church-going woman. She has no criminal history. But that's what addiction does. It drives you to behave in a way that you would not otherwise. And then when we're talking about legalizing gambling, I just don't get it. People do not look past what's right in front of them. I know that there's a lot of people who perhaps won't get addicted, but the number of people addicted to gambling is insanely high. So much so that it's how you have to have an AA group for alcoholics, they have gambling anonymous rehab groups, because it's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, there you go.
Well, I think you're concerned, and I would share this concern. Having lived in Las Vegas, I went to school in Las Vegas, UNLV, and I worked my first career. My career started in Las Vegas. My first job at a TV station was in Las Vegas. I like the days of when you would go to Las Vegas or Atlantic City, and that's where the gambling happens. You go there to do it. You take a certain amount of money that you're, for people who are going to gamble, you take a certain amount of money that you can afford to lose, basically, and you go there and you lose it, and they build nice casinos and hotels, and then you come back home and you live your normal life. The issue now is with casinos in so many towns and cities and neighborhoods is that it's so accessible. And you saw this when you were in Oklahoma, and heard the stories when you were working in the senator's office from people calling with an addiction that they wouldn't be able to have if the casinos were in Las Vegas and in Atlantic City only. Now, that I also think that we're all responsible for ourselves, and you can't punish everybody for something because there's somebody who does it to a bad end. So I don't know. I'm torn between it. Honestly, I don't know that gambling is good all throughout society as accessible as it is, because I think it does create gamblers. But
yeah. Well, and
we are.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument on so many things. Like, I've never been anti-smoking at restaurants. If the business owner wants smoking in his restaurant, okay, I don't have to go eat there.
Right.
So I get what you're saying.
The free market works it out.
Correct.
Or should.
So, yeah. But this seems different, though. Gambling, honestly, seems different than the free market working it out. Although, yes, I need to go back to high school debate, and it can be our topic. We can have to go for it and against it and see which argument was more convincing.
Well, the arguments don't matter because there's too much money involved. So that's why.
Okay. Yes. Well, here is our next story. You can take the first half of this, but it's not really gambling. It's winning, but you don't have to put up any money. You just have to listen to Around the Ozarks, but there's no money involved. So,
you don't have to do anything.
Ahead.
You don't have to do really anything. They're excited about this because we are partnering with 104.7 The Cave, your radio home for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Branson, the official vacation destination of your Kansas City Chiefs, for a super fun contest that we are calling the Branson Bowl.
Yeah, that's exciting. Starting next week, we will give you a keyword each week on the podcast, so you have to listen. We'll also put it out on our socials, on our website, and then you can enter for the chance to win some awesome prizes, such as Chiefs gear, tickets to the next Chiefs home game, some Branson gear, signed Chiefs jerseys. So just make sure that you listen closely starting next week through the end of the football season for your chance to win tickets to Arrowhead and then Chiefs gear. And I mean, I love that Branson is now their official vacation destination.
Yeah.
Because it's in our backyard. So this is fun that we get to do contests like this now.
Branson is now the official vacation destination of Around the Ozarks as well. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. Very cool.
So basically all you do is you listen for the keyword. When we give you the keyword, you could then take that to aroundtheozarks.com and use it to enter into the contest. And there are really, really good prizes. And when you think about gambling in the lottery, for example, your odds of winning here are much, much better. And you don't have to spend any money.
Right. It's free. That's the biggest thing.
That's right.
To you. Yes. Okay, that's it. Happy school day, everybody. I hope that you really have fun. If you're listening with your parents on the way to school, have a great year. It's going to be a good one. And it's not that long until Christmas break, if you think about it.
It just seems like it. That's all.
Yeah.
Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, friends. It is Monday, August 19th, and it's a great day to be waking up in the Ozarks. We have beautiful weather, not just today, but most of the week. I get to deliver the fantastic news, back to school week for many in the Ozarks, and it is going to be a great one. All the humidity that was around late last week and over the weekend, well, it's now a thing of the past. We're going to be dealing with some much nicer weather, a fantastic stretch ahead. Really, you can't ask for much more, especially in late August. Oftentimes, the back to school couple of weeks are pretty brutal in terms of heat, and this week is looking so nice. In fact, even this morning, we've got temperatures in the middle 60s. We had a handful of storms on the radar late last night into the overnight hours, and it's not impossible to see a little shower this morning falling out of some low clouds that are left around. But I think for most, it's just a partly cloudy sky. What we have early in the day. We will see some peaks of sunshine, though, later, and temperatures are going to land at 84 this afternoon. It will be a beautiful day in the Ozarks, so find some time to get outside today. There is a frontal boundary really draped across most of the southern portion of the country, providing some storms for the south. There's some isolated storm activity up in the northeast today, also some storm activity out in the Rockies. We're going to be dealing with really fantastic weather conditions, though, and we are on the dry side of the cold front, meaning our relative humidity feels much better, and we are also going to stay rain-free in the forecast over the next several days. It's possible to get a few isolated rain showers today and tomorrow. Best chances are going to be early in the morning, but then the rest of the forecast looks fantastic. Temperatures cooler than average. The pattern overall is looking very dry all the way through the work week, even into the weekend. It's looking very nice as we get closer to next weekend. So conditions just couldn't be much better. It's going to be a fabulous stretch here. We are talking about temperatures topping out in the mid 80s today, even better in spots tomorrow, especially central Missouri. It's going to be in the mid 70s for highs. That's going to be for the Lake of the Ozarks region. We're also in the upper 70s on Wednesday. Full sunshine for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Beautiful weather. If you have a project, something you've been putting off, you hope to get it done over the summer, this is going to be a great stretch of dry weather with some nice temperatures to do outdoor projects, get some yard projects done, something of the sort, because it's not often that we get this many days in a row with the sunshine, the low humidity, and the temperatures below average. So kind of a treat for us here in the middle and end of the month. Around the country, what's making headlines? Not so nice weather over on the East Coast. In fact, dangerous beach conditions developing up and down the eastern seaboard. We also have excessive heat taking shape again for the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. I told you earlier, we're on the dry side of the cold front. We're also on the cool side of the cold front, whereas our friends down south, they are going to be in blistering heat as we start the new week. So heat and humidity definitely still out there, and many folks down south are still dealing with that. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. Here's the question I have for you. What sport has been played on the moon? Do you think it is A, golf, B, baseball, C, soccer, or D, volleyball? If you guessed A, golf, you would be correct. It happened in 1971. Alan Shepard, an astronaut from the Apollo 14 mission, became the first person to play golf on the moon. He used a makeshift 6-iron, hit the ball twice. He missed the first time, but he did connect on the second swing, and he claimed that the ball flew many miles away. No one could tell exactly how far, gravity, of course, playing a big factor there. So kind of interesting. In 2010, though, an astrophysicist estimated that ball likely would have traveled around 4,000 meters and stayed in the air for around 70 seconds. That is 8 times the distance of the Guinness World Record for golf. So I'm not sure if shots on the moon count in the record books. I don't think they do, but if they did, that's the place you would want to go. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. The first ever PG-13 movie was released in August of 1984. What was it? Do you think that was A, The Terminator, B, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, C, Ghostbusters, or D, Red Dawn? First ever PG-13 movie released in August of 1984. Let me know your guesses. You can do that at the website. Just log on to aroundtheozarks.com to enter our Brain Twister trivia question, and you could win $20 to Scooter's Coffee every single weekday. Thanks so much for playing and for listening here to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I'm Abby Dyer. I sure appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And thanks to our sponsors, Rescue Towing and Scooters Coffee.